Today is officially the day. The Lex is getting a code out of this bitch because I give up, guys. I gave up. I'm a quitter. I don't want to fix it anymore. I want it fixed. But hey, once it's done, I'll have the ugly exterior but nice interior. I have 300 back.
3 days later.
Alright, y'all. Well, we just picked up the Lexus IS300 from DreamChasersGarage, and I was hoping this was going to be a turnaround to like all of our experiences that we had with DreamChasersGarage with the ZX, and then breaking all my injector clips and not telling me, and then ended up having them unplug while I'm driving and had the car misfiring then. Now, right as I get off the highway on the Lexus starts to fucking misfire. They charged me for $300 one day for doing the fuel pump and diagnosing it that day, and they said, oh, we got it running, we found this plug, blah blah blah, they got it done. That was good. I went there after they got it done, alignment wouldn't turn on, so they had to look at it today. It's Monday. That was Friday, and they called me up. They charged me a shitload of money for a new crank position sensor, which I'm pretty sure is this guy, and this guy doesn't even look that new, but maybe it is. And they charged me for that new fuel pump that they ended up putting it in, saying, oh, but that was it. The guy seemed super skeptical about even if it was like, if this was it. And then now I'm like looking in the engine bay, of course, because like I've been on the side of the fucking road, you know how it goes. And I'm just touching shit. And this shit was like this. And I was like, well, that seems loose. Put that there. This thing was completely fucking loose. I put this. This is completely loose. This is how they gave it back to me. Look at this. I don't have any tools on me, and I can fucking basically pull these shits apart. At least they put these on. Is my fucking filter in there? I mean, they couldn't connect this. Oh, they broke it, actually. They broke it, and they couldn't tell me that they broke that. Or put a new zip tie on it. So they just left that dangling like that. What else, babe? You see anything else, babe? See anything else?
I don't know.
And this looks like a new scratch. I know these aren't like the prettiest, but like I like to keep my terminals pretty. And then so if I had new ones and they did some shit like that, that'd be fucked. But look at this. Like, look at this. It should not be able to spin freely like that. That's my bad. Good job. Emma was just holding up the camera for us. Thank you, babe. I talked to the guy up front. And he said that he would recommend I get it towed over there and get AAA to do it. So that's what we'll probably do. They broke more shit in here. One, I had this really nicely done. Like I did a really good job on my wiring in here, and I didn't have any electrical tape on it because I just wanted it to be open. I didn't do any of this, and I had my zip ties holding it down nice in place. They left it all like that. I opened this up, and inside of there, it's hard for you to see, babe, but the top of my clip right there is broken, where it had a little plug on top, and it was fine. It was literally fucking fine. Another thing fucking broken. I'd like to see their fucking wiring job, because they're gonna charge me $120 an hour, and like this looks like it might be shittier than what I did. Like I did a fucking nice job when I had that in there. So I'm gonna fucking open this bitch up and see what this electrical shit looks like. But maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just bring it straight to the shop before they try to tell me something like, oh well, you fucked with it.
What did they say it sounded like?
Well, he just asked me like, did it sound like it was misfiring? And I was like, yeah, it sounded like misfiring.
Did it actually?
Yeah, it sounded bad. I mean, you heard it, didn't it? Didn't it sound like blah 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 blah?
I just don't know anything. It just didn't sound normal. But
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, I don't know what that
It didn't
means.
sound like it sounded at first.
No, it sounded, I was like, oh, he's happy. He has his loud car back.
No, I was like, fuck no, this is bad, because it was like acting bad.
No, in the very beginning.
In the beginning, it was
That's
really
what I
good.
mean. I was
know.
like, he's happy he got his loud car back. But
Yeah,
then,
I was really happy.
But then it's over there. I don't know where it started sounding bad.
Yeah, right as I got off the highway.
Yeah. Do you got flooded?
I don't know. I don't think it'd get flooded.
I mean, I remember
Let me try to turn it on.
You adjusted like certain, like how much flow.
I don't think I just.
I don't know.
Let's just try to see what this sounds like before we bring it over there. Yeah, I know the key's fucked. Oh, you hear how that sounds? Yeah, that does not sound fucking happy. That does not sound happy at all.
Many months later.
Alright. Dream Chasers Garage. A shop to the Pacific Northwest that appealing, like, you know, aesthetically looked really, really nice. You know, you walk into the shop, you know, they got RX-7s on the lifts, they've got Skylines on the lifts. All the people there seem really cool. Seems like a really good shop and all. But, you know, we're just here to talk about our experiences. So we'll start off with the first car I ever brought to the Dream Chasers Garage. Probably about 2 years ago. Brought my 1996 Nissan 300ZX over to Dream Chasers Garage because I had just picked it up and had about 190,000 miles on it, and I just wanted to make sure that the car was set. So I wanted to get, you know, timing belts done, you know, valve cover gaskets, just anything the motor should need was basically what I told them, but within keeping it at like a $3,000 budget. I did tell them that you know, I told them everything that I wanted with the car, from the interior stuff to the exterior stuff, to the motor stuff, and what we came up with that we would focus on the motor to keep it within budget, and we went over budget. Besides the fact that we went over budget, a lot of the work was just I feel like half-assed for $156 an hour. It was very disappointing to see some of these things when I had gotten the car back. And my idea was that since we were going to be taking, you know, all of this stuff off, the idea was that it would be very easy to access all the like coolant bypasses, and it's basically I don't know. That's why I brought it. But basically, you know, I wanted all the EGR deletes and all the coolant bypasses, because it's a very common thing to do on these NA 300ZXs to get as much power as you can NA, and just have, you know, the system running as smoothly as possible. Let's move on, and I'll show you guys some stuff while we're at this point of work that was done. You know, one thing that really disappointed me was that, you know, like I said, since I was having them do all this work, let me make sure since I was having them do all this work, my idea is since you're going to be already, you know, if you're going to get to the timing belt, like, you're going to have to take all this stuff off. So my idea is that you'd be able to access this, I think this is either an EGR or like a coolant bypass or something like that. Because it, you know, it just mounts up right to the back, and you know, this place, Dream Chasers, they've got CNC machines, they've got really good welder guys, you know, they're in drift competition stuff, like they promote the top of the line of the work. And then to see something like JB Weld as a fix for you know, I don't know, like I said, I don't know exactly what that is, but, you know, everybody that I've talked to, they tell me that's not how it should be done. You know, like I said, they should have disconnected it from the back, from the mounting hardware, and put a plate there. That would have been the proper thing to do. You know, besides that, you know, of course, when I got the car, I was just excited to get the car. I didn't really give a fuck about, you know, looking in that stuff, you know. So of course it kind of just passed my mind the first thing, or the first day that I had gotten the car. But unfortunately, like, I'll set you guys back up. Unfortunately, a few days after getting the Nissan 300ZX back, while driving, up north on the highway where there's some pretty severe bumps. Washington, you guys need to fix these roads. Like, they're so bad. I ended up hitting a bump, and one of the fuel injector clips had popped off because I hadn't realized it. But since they had to take off the valve cover and do all that and disconnect these, the plugs were really brittle. It's really common. I had an idea that they were probably going to need to replace those just because of seeing how brittle they were before. But what I didn't anticipate was them breaking them all, not replacing them, and taping it up and putting it on there. You know, it took me a second on the side of the freeway fucking figuring out why is my car misfiring right now. And then, you know, lo and behold, I touch on some stuff, and I felt that an injector plug had just come right off. And I'm sure, like, you know, the people over there will try to say stuff like, maybe we didn't touch that, maybe we didn't do that stuff, because with my Lexus, that's what I was hearing from Tyler. Tyler was trying to tell me we didn't even touch that stuff. But when a car comes into your shop, the least you do is you look over the basic stuff. So let's say, for example, that the injector clips were broken when they came in there, then that should be something that should immediately be put on the order list of stuff that the car needs when we're doing all this work in this area. At least that's my idea. You guys definitely tell me in the comments below what you think. I love to hear from you guys. But yeah, you know, that was just really disappointing. You spend so much money. You know, I know to some people maybe $3,000 isn't a lot, but you know, to some people, $3,000 is unimaginable. And, you know, for me, I could have used that money in a lot of different places. And I put it into Dream Chasers Garage thinking that they were going to give me my money's worth. But, you know, when you see JB Weld on a $6,000+ car for a $4,000, $3,000 invoice, it makes you really question all the other things that might have happened to the car. Realistically, I don't even know if they really did any of the service that they said they were gonna do. Like I haven't taken the fucking timing cover off, so I don't know if the timing belt even got replaced. That's the kind of shitty stuff. Not giving people invoices or receipts when the things are done. Kind of relying on the customer to say, hey, do you guys have written information on what happened with the car? The customer shouldn't have to be the person that goes and is like, yo, can I get a receipt? Can I get a receipt? Just a lot of disappointing stuff in that aspect. But like most of us, you know, if you have any experience bringing cars to mechanics, a lot of times, you know, you get screwed over and shit like that. And it's a shame. It normally doesn't happen to those who, you know what they're doing and understand what's going on. You know, like anybody else who might not realize that that's just JB Weld, they might think that that's good. But for $156 an hour, I can buy JB Weld for $5, mix them up, and start slathering on there and plugging that up. And that's not $156 service. Like, I would love if somebody out there could fucking fix that shit. Like, it's, like I said, this happened a while ago. As you can see, I do have bigger fish to fry on this car. But, you know, nobody likes feeling like they've been done dirty. And when you pay $156 and you get JB Weld back, it really feels like you're getting screwed up. Besides that, on the ZX, I don't think there's much else to it. You know, I know last you guys saw I was in the IS300 and I was on the side of the road, and I was telling you guys about my experience on the side of the road after just picking up the IS300. And the IS300 it's an interesting story. I bought that car back in 2020 for $300 off the side of the road with about 198,000 miles on it. The only issue that it had, besides being extremely moldy inside and extremely dirty, was that the dust shield cover, or dust shield for one of the rear brake rotors were slightly bent in an area that was causing a scraping sound as it touched the rotor. So bought that car 2020, $300. I detailed it. I did all that stuff, and the car ran great. Like literally after 5 years of sitting, we put a jump starter to it, and it jumped, and I was able to drive that bitch home. Fast forward a year or two, I had the IS300 sitting in my garage because I was just doing some maintenance on it. We got a couple cars, and I don't drive them all, so when I have the time, I like to just leave one in the garage and take it apart to the point where I'm just like it's easy to just keep hopping into it and doing stuff. So I was doing inner tie rods, and I did upper control arms and a whole bunch of stuff. But basically after that, the car didn't want to turn on anymore. It was a crank no start, and it was really confusing because it had never had something like that. So this is no over exaggeration. The car sat inside of this garage for about a year, just me and homies fucking with it, different people looking at it, trying to figure out what it was, because surprisingly that year of it sitting in the garage and buying Rock Auto parts or testing shit out, that didn't cost me fucking anything. But as soon as basically I give up, I got some money and I was ready to just get it taken care of. I just wanted the car back. So I got it. Luckily, luckily and unfortunately, I had fucked up the inner tie rod. That didn't count my turns as I was taking them off. Rookie mistake. If you're doing inner tie rods, make sure you're counting that shit. So basically, my wheels were like crazy leaked. Like they were like. I couldn't even drive this thing out of the car or out of the garage. So luckily, Doug's Affordable Towing came in clutch. They told me that not to worry about it at all. They came in here, they put some like dollies underneath the front wheels, and they just pulled it straight out and got it sent over to Dream Chasers Garage. And weirdly enough, that same day, I get a call back saying, "Hey, this is so and so from Dream Chasers Garage. Just wanted to let you know we got your car all done." And I immediately am questioning all this, because I replaced the fuel pump, took apart the fuel pump, did all of the sensor bypasses to try to bypass sensors to turn on the fuel pump, different fuel pumps, looked under the dash, did a bunch of stuff. I did so much stuff to it. And basically he calls me and he says, "Oh yeah, there was the fuel pump wasn't found to be working. We took the fuel pump out. The fuel pump on its own was found to be working. We put it back in the car. We found a plug underneath the dash, and once we plugged that back in, voltage came to the car, and or came to the fuel pump. So they said that was the fix. So I'm like, oh, okay, shit. I mean, I'll take your word for it. Drive the 40 minutes out there to go take a look at the car, just to find it's stuck on, I think it's Beeline alignment, the alignment shop right there. It was just stuck on their alignment rack. They couldn't get it to start anymore. It was doing the exact same thing, crank no start. So I paid them for the service that they did, and had to go home empty-handed again without a car. And this is a lot of inconvenience, getting people to bring you to a shop. I was wasting a lot of people's time. So I ended up going home. This was on a Friday, I'm pretty sure. So they had to take a look at it on Monday. So they took a look at it on Monday. I'll grab the paperwork for it right now. All right. Let's see which one's the first one. All right. So the first one. Diagnosis: found fuel pump not turn on, attempted using hardwire relay and found pump to still not turn on, pulled fuel pump and directly tested, found pump found to be still working properly, checked power at fuel pump plug and found no voltage, checked power at relay to have no power, checked power at fuel pump resistor to have no power, backtrace wiring at EFI relay and circuit opening relay, Swap with known working relays and found no change in condition. Backtraced further to wiring under passenger side of the dash and found a plug unplugged from the module. Once plugged in, voltage was found at the fuel pump connector again. Reassembled fuel pump and vehicle started. $357 later, looking at my fucking car sitting on an alignment rack, and the guys are telling me it won't start. And let me just show you this plug. Let me get my keys. There's my ZX. So this is the so-called plug that was found disconnected from a module, and once connected, voltage to everything came on and the car fucking started. And as soon as I heard that, I started questioning even more, because like I said, the car was in here for a year. I looked at that wire. I spent hours laying on my back underneath this with the whole dash taken apart, trying to find a module that could go to, and it doesn't go to anything. Like, it might have been some old radio shit, but it doesn't go to anything. So right there, that's a lie. Like, how are you gonna tell me you plug this up and this was the fix to the car, where I know that's a damn lie? So that in itself is makes you lose your fucking trust with them. Like, how are you gonna be lying to me about what was the cause for the issue? So that's exhibit 1. That was the first invoice. That was me outside the alignment shop looking at the fucking car. They did tell me it did start up. They did drive it on there. But they didn't fix the problem. So I go home, like I said, wait the weekend, wait to hear back from them. A couple, I don't know which day this is, but a little bit later, another charge. So for now, this doesn't have, and these are the things that I think are interesting. As a person with a car, I'll just read this. So basically, under this new invoice, now we have recommendations. So in this recommendation, it says timing belt is soaked in oil, recommended timing belt service with cam/crank seals. That's really good stuff to know. I really appreciate that. Why didn't you tell me that on my first invoice? Something seems different from the first to the second. So that's one thing that's weird. Okay. Now there's no diagnosis. It just says that they charge me for a fuel pump, an hour and 1.6 hours of fuel pump installation, $256 to install a fuel pump in the IS300. It takes 20 minutes. It takes less than that. I can do it in 10 minutes. If you guys want to see me fucking replace the fuel pump in the IS300 in under 10 minutes, let me know. I will do that shit, because this is bullshit. And then they charge me for an electronic fuel pump, $174. They charge me for a crank position sensor, $60. And then they charge me an hour to install the crank position sensor. So $160 per hour. You believe me? For this shit? For fucking JB Weld? $160? I don't know, maybe the price is raised or some shit from the ZX to that one, but $740 later, with no diagnosis now, just telling me, oh, we just threw all these parts at it, and basically he said it ended up being the crankshaft position sensor. Okay, then why'd you do all this other shit? Or, just that type of shit. And coming back to the fuel pump, the hour and six fucking time they took to fucking do this shit, 1.6 hours to do this shit, the $256 later, the fuel pump, they made it literally worse than, like, they wired it worse than I did. Like, I spent 30 minutes at most crimping some wires, and I took my time when I was taking it apart, and And at max, it was taking me 30 minutes. They spent an hour, charged me 200, they spent 1.6 hours on it. Charged me $256 on it. And then also broke very simple, like kind of like plastic caps for the plugs. Like there's I'll show you guys. I think I might have I think I took the back seats out, so we might be able to easily see what I'm talking about. And I'll grab I think I left a 10 mil outside, to be honest. Get my 10er on me. And I'll just show you guys what $256 gets you. It gets you, it leaves you like this. You guys saw in the video. Well, in that video, that's how they fucking left it. That's what $256 gets you. They left all my old wiring just here. Throw it in the damn trash. They couldn't throw trash out that they took apart. Look, boom, fuel pump's right down there. All you need to do is take out all these bolts. Boop, 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 boop. Fuel pump pulls right out. Disconnect that to it and disconnect this. Easy fucking peasy. But look, this is supposed to have a little door that just covers up these wires. It just keeps them nice and down. And they fucking broke that. Like that was a simple, for them to break that shows obvious signs of not caring. They were just being careless. And to charge $256 to do this and then leave it like this? Are you shitting me? It's unbelievable. Like, if I was running a shop, I would think that's unacceptable. There needs to be definitely higher quality control. Because, it was worse than this. It was left worse than that. It just had my old wires just tossed in there. I think it's in the video. And, that's just disappointing. So yeah, that's what $740 gets you later. So then, after this $740 bill, plus the last fucking bill, I pick up the car. It's running fine. I'm driving it home. As soon as I get off the highway, the thing starts to misfire. And I'm in back-to-back traffic, trying to get off this highway, and the car is literally it's an automatic, so you gotta have it in drive, and it's literally trying to crash into the fucking other cars because of how it's misfiring. So that's when I pull off to the side of the road when I get a chance to, and I show you guys the video. But yeah, so after all that money, $7, $8, $9, $10, $1,000. After $1,000 of money, $1,000 going into this fucking car, it comes back to me and it's misfiring, and the intake's loose, and everything's loose, and it looks like shit. And then the best they can do is I call them up, I tell them what's going on. Tell me, oh yeah, if you want, you can tow it back to us, or we can take a look at it. You serious? You guys fucked up this whole fucking time. Fuck up. And you guys don't do anything to help with it. And I think that was one of the most disappointing parts was, after that happened, and I towed it there, I was at least hoping that maybe with what they find now will be, they'll be able to cover me on that. But no, they didn't cover me on that. I paid the tow back to the shop, and then I paid for a new VVTi solenoid. Because what happened is since none of their guys had tightened up any of the intake bolts, and everything was loose how I showed in video, I guess a piece of debris had gone into the intake through the throttle body and clogged the VVTi solenoid, causing the car to run like that. So they did something that fucked up my car, and I had to pay for it. And I think that's unacceptable. that was the last time I brought a car to Dream Chasers Garage. Last time I probably will bring a car to Dream Chasers Garage. I really don't know too much of what's going on over there. I just know people have been starting to come out about their experiences, and I thought that I might as well because, you know, I got you guys watching, and I have experiences, and you know, I feel like as a young man, it's important to, you know, voice how we feel internally and not just keep it inside us. And this is one of those things that, like I said, this happened a year or two ago, and it's just been on my chest that whole time. And I, you know, with seeing how good the shop looks, you know, it's just so disappointing. I don't, there's not like really many more words I can think of to explain the situation. But, you know, Justin, my homie Justin that I met when I was out there, he should be making an update video / just video on it, and he'll have a lot more information on, you know, probably the, you know, actual Dream Chaser scenario. Anybody who just has had a bad experience, I just recommend you come out and you speak about it. You know, I don't know what can even come of this, besides like internal relief. I don't know what can be done for this stuff. It's just, it really feels like a lot of us have been played and a lot of money has been taken from us, and nothing has been done to resolve these issues. But yeah, guys, you know, keep working on your stuff. Keep learning how to work on your own stuff. At the end of the day, that's the best thing you can do, is, you know, have all the tools, learn how to do all this stuff on your own. So for the time that something does happen, you know what to do, and you know where to get the parts. I would get your parts at Rock Auto if you need any parts. This isn't a sponsored video. I just love Rock Auto, the cheapest parts that I've been able to find, quality parts. My whole IS300's like suspension parts, all of it is Rock Auto. Like, Rock Auto is the fucking goat. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I hope you guys keep ticking, and, you know, leave a comment, maybe leave a like if you want. And yeah, I'm trying to post a video every Sunday. You know, subscribe if you want to get notified. And yeah, we got more to come. Of course, we got the ZX here, and we got the Lexus. Plenty of content coming soon. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys. Anybody who stuck around this long, you guys are the real ones. Yeah.